The 7 diabetes self-care steps are the essential self-management behaviors to promote better diabetes control. These steps are: eat healthy, test your blood glucose levels, be physically active, take your medications, see your doctor regularly, take care of your eyes, teeth, and feet, manage stress. These steps are practical lifestyle habits that are taught in the Wisdom, Power, Control program. Week 1 discusses the self-care 7 steps as one of its lesson activities. In weeks 2 through 6, the 7 self-care steps are reviewed as part of the class introduction activity. When reviewing, show the posters and have the class participants say the steps aloud. It is important to discuss and apply the steps to each week's topic when applicable. By the end of the 7-week course, all steps will be covered in detail. It is important to review every week and encourage participants to memorize the steps. To teach the 7 self-care steps effectively, relate each step to its impact on blood glucose levels and the prevention of diabetes problems.
And let's go back over it, the ways that we keep our blood sugar down. What's the first one?
Fruits and vegetables.
Fruits and vegetables. Make sure eat healthy. What's our next one? Check your sugar. What's our next one?
Exercise.
Right, move more. We're going to talk about that today. Take all your meds, right? And what's this one? Talk with your doctor. And our last one, oh, wait, we got 2 more. What's this one? Eyes, feet, and teeth. And here's our last one. Manage your stress. Right, okay. All right, we got a new power phrase. This was our, does anybody remember our one from last week? All right, this one today, I don't have it. Here it is. All right, let's say it all together. Okay, one more time.
I've got the power to move more.
Great. All right, so that's what we're going to be talking about. What we're going to do is talk about the ways that movement helps control your blood sugar and different activities that you can do that are safe and effective.
Okay,
Yes.
so we're going to go ahead and wrap up because we know that we
got the power to move more.
Okay, make it personal.
I've got the power to move more.
Okay, so.
You know, 30 minutes most days of the week is what my doctor recommended.
Oh, okay. So here's our question. Oop, there we go. So real quick, before we move on, what ways can we use to increase the physical activity in our life?
Yeah, I love our walking time too because we get to catch up on what's happening in the family.
That's the best part. And getting to share my thoughts and my feelings with you also helps me relieve my stress.
For me too. Okay, I've set my phone alarm for 30 minutes.
Well, we may even go even longer. Just think, a couple of months ago, I never would have thought I could do more than 10 to 15 minutes. And look at me now. I'm walking and I'm active and I'm in control of my diabetes.
As I always say, managing diabetes is possible and you have the power to do it.
Let's go.
All right.
All right. Okay, go ahead and sort them out. Okay, we done? All right, so let's start going through these and see what we got. Here we have high carbs, right? Chips, right? Everybody knows chips are high carb, right? Actually, salad dressing is high fat, but it's not going to have an effect on your blood sugar. And that's one of the reasons that we do this, is to recognize we've gotten the idea good food, bad food, right? And so a good food, we think of these as things we have to limit. You do have to limit these. This goes under fat, though. This is not going to affect your blood sugar, but it's going to affect your weight because it's going to add calories, which then affects your, does that make sense? It's a fat. Salad dressing goes under fat. So there we go. Okay. Now beef stew is kind of both, but this has protein in it, but it also is going to have potatoes in it, so it's going to have an effect on your blood sugar because of the potatoes. So that one is a high carb. It's also a protein food. It's one of those mixed foods, which gets a little complicated. All right, muffin, right? High carb for sure, right? All right. Pizza, actually, yes, it's the bread. And, you know, it also has fat with the cheese, also has some protein with the cheese, and if there's any meat on it, there's protein as well. But, well, again, what we're looking at is what affects your blood sugar, and this one's going to have a high effect on your blood sugar. And, of course, the hamburger bun, right, any bread. Right, now let's look at our next one. We've got dill pickle, low carbs, that's right. Pickles, remember, crunchy, not sweet, right? That's one way that we always remember that one. Let's see, in the salad dressing, let's see what we got in our proteins. Oh, actually, this is a protein food, but does it have an effect on our carbs? It's also starchy. Yeah, it's like a starchy vegetable. It does have some protein in it, but that does go into our high carb group. And again, there are some that do both. They're protein foods. They have protein in beans and peas, or have protein in them, but they also have carbs. That's right. You need to know which foods. Now, tuna is just protein, nothing but. And then the nuts, sometimes these go into the fat category because they do have a lot of fat, but they also have protein, but they don't affect the blood sugar. And the tuna doesn't affect the blood sugar because it's a protein. Things with carbs affect your blood sugar. So our next thing is going to be, if you look through the papers that you got, we have our weekly activity for this week. We do have some other activities that we're going to do, but the weekly activity is that this sheet, yes. What we're going to talk about today, what we're going to do is you're going to try to do the same, writing down what you're eating. But if you flip over to the other side, you'll see that what we're adding on this week is our exercise and checking the sugar before and after we exercise. Just one day. You don't have to do that well, if you're checking your sugar, you definitely need to be checking it before you exercise to make sure that it is over 100. But, you know, the checking before and after, that one, you just need to record it for one day just to sort of see. And what do you think is probably going to happen to your blood sugar from the time before you exercise till after? What do you think will happen to it? That's right. It should go down. We should see it go down. So that, again, when you actually do it and then you test it and then you see, then it helps you remember. Okay, so any questions on this part of it? You know, continue to write down what you're eating and continue to track. Those of you who are checking your sugar, continue to track your sugar. And just to reiterate, 2 hours after you eat, what should your blood sugar be? 2 hours after you eat, what number do we want to see? 180, actually. We want to see 180 or less. And what do we want to see in the morning when we wake up? 70 to 120 is kind of our top number. So first thing in the morning, we want to see 70 to 120. And 2 hours after we eat, we don't want to see any higher than 180, right? Okay. All right, let's talk about our personal goals for this week. We can do the same one we did before, or we can do a new one. So does somebody want, or it could be the one that we're doing as a group. If what you want to do is exercise one time this week and check your sugar, that can be one of them. Does somebody give me a specific goal that they think they might want to do this week? No, give me a goal.
I will be walking. I'll be walking at least 3 days this week.
Okay, and for how many minutes?
For 30 minutes.
Okay, walking 3. Okay, go ahead and write that down on your thing. I know, and I know, because I'm going to hold you to it. How confident are you about that?
I am very 10. I saw that.
That's a 10.
right,
I think it's
10.
this one.
Yeah.
All right, a 10. There we go.
That I can do. Make
Right, so
myself
right there.
do that.
Actually, I'm going to go ahead and do Carla because she's my little ringer here. We're going to we're going to teach her how to do a goal because she has never done this before. So, and y'all help me with her, all right? Because she doesn't know how to do this yet. Carla, what goal would you like to do this week?
Exercise every day for an hour.
For an hour. Okay, and what kind of exercise are you thinking about doing? Okay, and an hour every day. Okay, that's a specific. How many days? How many days a week? 5. Okay, so she's telling us she wants to run for an hour 5 times this week. So our next question is, when was the last time you ran?
Maybe high school?
Okay, so, all right, so this is a specific goal, correct? It is very specific. I would like your input here, my team. Is this doable?
No,
And why not?
because she haven't been in a long time, and her body hadn't gotten. She gotta
Right, okay.
start low and
So what do you recommend for her instead? So that with all of us, when we set a goal, it has to be doable and it has to be desirable. Is it desirable to force yourself to run for an hour 5 days a week when you haven't been running? How's she going to feel by the end of that? How do you think you're going to feel by the end of that, Miss Carla? So, knowing that it has to be desirable, it has to be something that you're willing to continue to do, and knowing that it has to be doable, what would you see as a desirable and doable goal?
Maybe run on a treadmill.
Okay, for how long?
10 minutes.
Okay, how many days? 3. Okay, that's a start. Right, is that, all right, do you think, all right, and how confident are you that you could do that? An 8 out of 10. Okay, so does that sound to you like a, okay, that's a sensible goal.